It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
For those of you who watch on YouTube, we're back. We're back. I figured out some of the stuff hindering and crippling the YouTube video. But we're back. So if you're following on YouTube, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning into the Sean Widmer Podcast. Today, I've got to clear the air for Garrett, my buddy Garrett. We got to talk about the rest of summer in the backyard. Him, me, mud wrestling. No, we got to talk about what to throw on that griddle of yours. We're going to get to that, Garrett. You asked the other day. We're going to get to it. And then a lot of work talk today, a lot of business. You know, we got to get big business stuff out there. And mainly that's going to be where we're at today because John Dresbach is on watch. If you see him, if you know him, Johnny, where you at? Been chasing John. We're going to keep chasing John until we get him on. All right. So, and by that, I mean, we're going to try again for Friday's episode. And then, John, I'm taking it. I can't have the rejection anymore. Drez and I are terrible at texting each other. I don't know if you have this buddy that you're really close to. And then the text messages, if someone looked at our text message thread, I think they would go, well, you guys aren't close. And then we're about as close as you can get. But we just are terrible texting each other. I do a bad job not answering enough of Johnny's phone calls. I love talking to Drez, but the time difference, and now I'm telling you guys, I can feel it. Real job, real hours. I'm not just by my phone all day taking phone calls. Can we talk about work? Let's do it here in a second. First of all, thank you to the patrons of the Sean Widmer Podcast, patreon.com/Sean Widmer Podcast. For those of you who support the podcast, thank you. And you are the reason why this thing keeps going. So I appreciate you very much. I mentioned next Tuesday, we're going to have our first iteration of something I'm very excited about from my days in radio forever. One of my favorite things to do in radio. 20 years of doing it. And we'll bring it to the Patreon people starting next week. Thank you, Patreon members. You can become one over there. Thanks. Okay, no 5-star reviews on iTunes today. So we're caught up with all the business stuff. Let's get into the nitty and the gritty. I had my first ever full work day. That's not fair. Maybe regular work day. I've worked plenty of extremely long days. I mean, there's times where back in the food drive days, early food drive days for me, where I was in a parking lot in a RV from Sunday until Friday. So I would say that's a pretty long day. I would say those are pretty long days. Never left. Just in the RV from Sunday night until Friday morning. Those are pretty long shifts. I'm talking, let's talk business hours. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's the gig. And I had my first one of those today. Whew! Man, y'all are crazy who do this, who have done this forever and are going to do it forever. And I'm in it now, but I also dodged it for 20 years. And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Yesterday, I worked not even the full shift. I think I worked till 3 o'clock yesterday. I got home and I got to experience something for the first time. My daughter ran up to me. My 4-year-old daughter ran up to me when I came in the door, gave me the hugest hug and goes, "Daddy, you can't go back to work." And that is a heartbreaking moment right there. And I was like, "Babe, this is fine. This is what we do." I mean, soon enough, she's going to be going back to school and it's going to be, "Forget about it, Dad. I don't even care if you're here. I want to go see my friends." But I had that moment, the really big hug. And then at bedtime, I put her to bed and she was like, "What are we going to do tomorrow?" And I was like, "Well, I've got to go to work." And she just grabbed my arm and she's like, "You can't go to work." So I'm having that moment, that dad parenting moment where the kids are realizing that I'm going to be working. And it was weird because right when I was working the morning show, I would leave the house at 4:30, 4:40, be at work at 5. And I was home. I mean, let's be honest, I was home early always, but I was home between 12:30 and 1:30. And so then I was with the kids all afternoon. And so, I mean, I got a lot of FaceTime with them. So Olivia might have missed me in the morning, but that was when she was hanging with Miss Elsa. And so life was good. It's weird. It's a weird thing to adjust to, the full day schedule, knowing that, okay, I'll see him for a second in the morning, and then I'll see him at dinner time and nighttime. And it's just a weird adjustment now I've got to make with the kids. And I'm starting to realize how much I'm going to value my Saturdays and Sundays to hang with the fam. So I get that now. And now I probably owe a lot of apologies to a lot of my friends who I thought were neglecting our friendship to hang out with their families on the weekends, only now to discover that's the only time you have to hang with your family, when the sun is up. So I think I should apologize to them, but I'm not going to, because I know my friends and they don't really deserve apologies. Okay, this will work thing. Two things. I had a lot of people message me about the outfit. What was the day one outfit? Let's run it down. Let's recap real quick, because it was my number one concern going to work. I can't just dress like I did for radio and my Lululemon shorts and a t-shirt. Mainly I always went to work dressed in case basketball or skateboarding busted out the second work was done, because I was doing one of those two things after work. And so now it's happening. So I wore slacks and a polo shirt and dress shoes the first day. And I spent the entire day checking out everyone's outfit in the building. And I got an okay feel for, I think, what's going on. I think I got an okay feel. I reassessed today and I continued to look, and it is jeans and a polo shirt vibe with casual tennis shoes, not casual tennis shoes, casual dress shoes into the tennis shoe world, which opens up this door for me. I used to be a big time sneakerhead, and I love my shoes. And then I kind of fell off. I don't even know why I fell off. I think I was spending my money on basketball shoes. If I was going to buy shoes, I was buying a new pair of basketball shoes. And now I think I'm going to slip back in, which is why, Johnny, I'm ready for you to come on the podcast. Oh, hang on. Did he just text me? Let's see. No, he didn't. That was one of my NCAA 25 dynasties, Tyler, talking trash to me about him wanting to go against me in the MAC championship. So that doesn't matter. Anyways, I need to talk to John, because John's is a shoe guy. He's got great shoes. So I've got to get back into the shoe game, because I can wear cool tennis shoes now to work, which I'm real excited about, getting back into that world. Right now, I'm just ratty shoes. I wrecked all my shoes skateboarding, flat out. Any of the cool shoes I had, I just started skateboarding with them, and I've wrecked all of them. They all have holes in the side of them where you rub your foot against the grip tape when you're trying to do like any kind of trick that it requires an ollie. You're rubbing your foot up against the grip tape, and it's just ripping holes in your shoes. So I get it. I got to go out and do some shoe shopping. I'll probably have to go out and do some jeans shopping. But overall, very comfortable vibe at the new office. Very comfortable vibe. Excited about the potential to get into some cool shoes, get some new jeans. I'm not a polo shirt. I'm not a dress up guy, but polo shirts are going to work for me. I think I can make a polo shirt work. I'm excited about that. It was fun. They hooked it up with a ton of swag on day one. It was crazy the amount of swag they gave out. They gave some polo shirts, so I got a work polo shirt with a logo on it, got a fleece with a logo on it. So that part was great. Great to get some shirts that you can wear as your work clothes given to you by work. That is a real solid one. But then I was given a little gift bag of pens and notebooks and stuff that all have the Studio 46 logo on it. And so that was all cool. And a backpack. But not any backpack. One of the new fandangled backpacks that have probably come around in the last, 15 years. New and fandangled. I mean, that's aging myself. That I went 10, 15 years. But they're the backpacks that stress me out, right? I grew up in an era that the backpack of choice was a JanSport. You were cool if you had a JanSport. A JanSport, a zipper over the top and a zipper in the front pouch. And there you go. That was your backpack. Draw on it if you want. Stick the pins on it if you want. Some guys would cut into them with scissors, make them look all frazzled and broken down. Right? Everyone got creative with their JanSport. The bag I got makes me feel completely unprepared to go to work and completely unprepared for life, because it has got 100 zippers on it and 50,000 compartments. And I find myself opening it and thinking, okay, these are all supposed to be used for something. And I'm putting in there a notebook, a pen, a phone charger, and I don't know, my Dungeon Master's Guide. And that's what I've got in my backpack. And there's a million pouches. So I was up and around today like, okay, well, this front pouch has a bunch of little pouches in it. Maybe this could be for quarters. Like, what is this one? This is for maybe if I need batteries. And I just found myself filling up this backpack. So now it weighs 130 pounds with just things so that I felt like I was prepared, because I don't want to go into the office and have one of the young kids pull out their work backpack and they're opening all these zippers and they're pulling out the raddest stuff, right? They've gone on Amazon Prime Day and they bought all the cool trinkets that the kids buy to fill up one of these backpacks. I'm a JanSport guy, right? We had two pockets. Put your switchblade in the front and put a bunch of notebooks that you could doodle on in class in the back. And that was kind of how it went. But it was really awesome to get one of these backpacks. I don't know. What do you put in these things? Kids listening, what do you put in all these slots? I wish I had the backpack down here right now for YouTube. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to go get it. Give me a moment. Hang on. Okay, audio only listeners, we'll walk you through it. YouTube people, you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, a beautiful backpack, right? Really nice. You've got a pouch on the side lower that looks like it's for maybe like golf balls. You've got this other upper side pouch that doesn't zip all the way down. That I mean, more golf balls that you maybe put in this one. So you got two on one side. On the other side, you've got another one of those golf ball pouches, but it seems like almost like insulated. So there's 3 side pouches. Another one on the other side. So we got 4 side pouches. I'm assuming maybe some sunglasses go in one of them. I don't know. You put a roll of tape, like some Scotch tape on the top. You've got sort of it's like a, I don't know. It's like a hardcover. It's like firm on the top. It's got a case that goes in. I think this might be for glasses. I don't know. What's this top one for? Glasses? What would I have to put in there? I don't know. My skateboard tool. Is that where you put that? And then you've got the big bag that has, the big spot where you would put your textbooks. And then on the front and back of that one, it's got things where you would slide in, I don't know, like loose papers. I put my kids' Sunday school drawings in there. On the front, you've got a top case that maybe is for another pair of sunglasses. Inside the top one, it's got, I don't know, coin hole, like some places for coin. Maybe this is where I keep my treasures. Maybe this is where I keep my treasures, my $1 bills and my pennies. And then it's got the most stressful part of a backpack where the front unzips down. And inside the front, there's like 50 pouches, right? I mean, there's just pouches on pouches on. I mean, got pouches everywhere. I personally don't own enough things in my life to fill this, right? I mean, it's not quite big enough to put my basketball shoes in. There's another zipper I just discovered in the far back that's for like a folder. This is for a laptop. This is the most elaborate backpack. An unbelievable gift for my work. I don't know what do you put in it? You guys, youth, Elsa and friends. What do you put in a back? What do you put in all these compartments? I'm a JanSport guy from a JanSport world. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. That was 5 minutes of backpack talk. I apologize. Let's get into it.
Kelly's, what are you into?
My main man Garrett sent me a little message. I think he sent it to me on x.com. Let's see. What did he say? Garrett, where are you at? He said, at Sean T. Widmer, give me a top list of things I need to cook on the Blackstone to finish out summer on the pod. Okay, G, first of all, farmers. I feel like you as a farmer have enough stuff for one of these backpacks. I feel like you have little tools, odds and ends, screwdrivers, Phillips heads, flatheads, wrenches, crescent wrenches, the circle ones that you put on like a nut, those ones, pliers, needle nose pliers. I mean, you got enough stuff as a farmer to do that. Wheat, barley, pretty cool, man. All right, so anyways, you could fill one of these backpacks up, but you didn't know what to cook in the Blackstone. So I'm here for you, Garrett, as a Blackstone lover and somebody who really wants you to succeed on your Blackstone. So I'm assuming you've already done smash burgers. Burgers during summer, burgers and hot dogs. Do the buns on one side and toast them up. Okay, whatever. Chicken fried rice. Got to do fried rice in your Blackstone. Chicken fried rice is the one I love. There's a billion fried rice recipes. I love putting chicken in it so you get a little bit of that protein. I would say one of the things that I didn't really understand, and all the recipes will say it, when you go to look up the chicken fried rice recipe and it brings up like a Betty Crocker link, the first 17 pages are Betty Crocker's lifelong story and her relationship with chicken fried rice, and finally the recipe shows up. It will say on that recipe, do the rice a day before and put it in the refrigerator. And I just always skipped that step until I didn't. And then when I didn't, it actually was better. So, maybe do that step where you cook the rice the day before. It's just kind of a hassle, and it's hard to think ahead for me on that one. But chicken fried rice, got to do it. Pizza roll-ups. Let's get youthful here, right? Let's get youthful. I could put some pizza roll-ups in this backpack. So you take a tortilla. You take like a flour tortilla. You take a layer then of a thin layer of pizza sauce. All right, so a marinara sauce. Then take your pepperoni. If you maybe want to put some sausage, I don't know. I'm not going to make your pizza for you. Just don't do it with a cheese pizza. I don't need that in my life. I'm not here for that. I'm anti-cheese pizza. Come on, put some toppings on it. If you want to put some onions on, there, whatever. You know how toppings work. You know how pizza toppings work. Do that. Then you roll it up, okay? Then you make sure to put you have cheese on it. And then you make sure you put some of the cheese along the edge where it is folded over, and you lay that side down so that the cheese acts as a glue that sticks that open end on the roll-up together. Oh my gosh. Flatten that bad boy down so it's a flattened roll-up, and enjoy. That was actually the moment. Making those was when we found out my daughter doesn't like pizza, which is unforgivable. Unforgivable. You know what, Olivia? I'm going to work twice tomorrow. How about that? I'm gonna go to work twice, and you're not gonna see me at all. That's not fair. Pizza roll-ups, make those. Fajitas, you got to make fajitas. You got to make fajitas if you got a Blackstone. Again, flat top griddle. It doesn't matter if it's Blackstone or whatever. Got to make fajitas. Very easy to do. Very fun to do. Get the veggies down first. Let them go for a little bit. Then get the chicken on there. I mean, you understand how fajitas work. There are really good seasoning recipes online. I think this is where you can have some fun with your fajitas, right? Because fajitas are fajitas. You could have been doing this in a skillet. A skillet. You could have been doing this with Skittles. Now you could be doing this in a skillet in the house, or in like a frying pan. But let's get creative in the spice world. You're gonna go outside. You can get wild with the sauce or the spices, and then you can tell your wonderful wife and family, like, oh yeah, look at this, how much better the Blackstone was, when really it was just the seasoning you put on it. Go online, find a cool fajita spice recipe, mix it up, dump it on there, and I think that's what you're gonna do. But you got to do fajitas, and then in the taco world on your Blackstone, at some point you have to do corn shells. Get your ground beef, your steak, your chicken, whatever that is going to be inside. Get some cheese and do the old, put a bunch of oil on your Blackstone, fold the taco over, and you pretty much fry them in a layer of oil so that they're super crispy on the outside. I like to do the thing where I seal them again with the cheese. Now, if you do it this way, I'm a big lettuce, tomato, jalapenos. I mean, you can do the jalapenos in there, but sometimes when you make these kind of tacos and you seal the top, you don't have access to put stuff in it. So you have to get like a guacamole or a sour cream if you want to dip it into, to kind of bring a little bit of cool factor to your tacos, which I think is important. Otherwise, you just try to crisp them on both sides so they become a crispy taco, but get them in a lot of oil so they're really unhealthy. You want to maximize the unhealthiness on these, but leave it so that you can kind of pry them open and dump in your shredded lettuce. And you're in a good spot with those. You got to make those on the Blackstone. That's a no-brainer. I do them with ground beef most of the time. It seems to be easiest. You can actually cook the ground beef on the Blackstone, obviously, on one half, and then you can kind of have a bunch of working space depending on how big it is. You got to do breakfast. You got to do breakfast for dinner on your Blackstone. But the other thing I'd recommend to you, G, and anybody, Hungry Hussy. Hungry Hussy is a guy on YouTube who does a lot of Blackstone stuff. And there's a lot of really good Blackstone cooks. I think there's a guy called CJ. I think he's a Blackstone official account guy. But Hungry Hussy, I fell in love with him during the pandemic when I got my Blackstone. And he was kind of starting off on YouTube. He had really good stuff. He releases a lot of really creative recipes. I definitely recommend his. He just released one the other day for cowboy stir fry, I think is what it's called. I'm looking at the recipe now. It's got red potatoes, head of cabbage, ribeye steak, bell pepper, sweet onion, yellow squash, kielbasa, heifer dust, I don't know what that is, sweet corn, pickled jalapenos, Worcestershire sauce, and a bottle of Italian dressing. I mean, it's really got a lot of cool flavor, but that meat is a ribeye and kielbasa. It looked so good. Hungry Hussy on YouTube, HUNGRY space HUSSEY. G, let me know what you cook. Send me pictures, dude. Send pics. Send pics, bro. I would love to know what it is that one of my favorite. You know what? Screw it. I'd love to know what my favorite farmer is making on his Blackstone. You know that hurts me to say, G. You know that hurts me to say. We don't like to give each other compliments. Let's read some comments, shall we? Let's wrap up the podcast today with some comments. Let's go first to Spotify. Do we get any comments on Spotify? The comments are working on Spotify. This one says this. It is from Dylan. Good luck on your first day. Thank you, Dylan. Good luck on your first day. If I ever changed careers, I would be a mess. Work pants, a t-shirt, and boots is all I've ever known for the last 10 years. Unless I have a meeting, then I throw on a golf polo. Thank the good Lord for birthdays and Christmas because that's when I get new clothes for work. Be thinking of me this week. Friday, we leave for Seaside, Oregon, and it's an 8-hour drive with my wife and I and our 3 kids packed into a Subaru Crosstrek. Man, good luck, Dylan. Good luck. I'll be thinking of you. Oregon Coast, great vacation. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful place to go. Some of my favorite vacations are on the Oregon coast. So I'm excited for you. That trek sounds like a long one in the Subaru Crosstrek. I hope it goes well. I hope you can find some good tunes or something to listen to on the drive over. And again, thank you for the good luck wishes on day one. Yeah, he said if I changed careers, I'd be a mess. It's not easy. I'm going to tell you. Today I had multiple moments where I was like, holy cow. I really left an entire career path to do this. I left. It was a weird feeling. I'm excited about it, but it was a weird feeling. I don't know. And it is a weird thing. I don't know that. I don't know the correct way to say this without sounding like a complete pile. But let's just be very transparent right now. It is a weird transition to go from a minuscule public figure to just the bottom of the barrel at a company, right? It's a weird one. I don't know how to say that without sound. I mean, right? That sounded like an absolute wild thing to say. But I worked at a place for 20 years. I worked really hard, and we built some traction, right? And you work up, and in the industry I was in, you become somebody. If you're out every now and then, someone comes up to you and says hi, and they say thanks for the show, and it sounds so stupid. And then you go to a job, and it's totally opposite, and it's like, oh, it's weird. It's good. I like it. I needed to get away from that, but it is an adjustment. Just get off my back. I didn't know how to bring it up, but I wanted to get it off my chest. We did it. We're all better for it. Yvonne said this on Spotify. Good luck on a new job. Let us know how it goes. Excited on new Patreon stuff. Yvonne, I am too. Even though I probably lost all the listeners by sounding like a complete anus. Egotistical maniac right here. That's my middle name. Roberta said this on Sean'sLife.com. Thank God you weren't wearing real big boy work clothes when Woods got you all wet. Blessings on your first day. Thank you, Roberta. Company is awesome. The people are awesome. I'm very excited. It is, big change, but I'm very excited about it. Ian said this. Sorry, Sean. Autocorrect kept changing it to bills. I changed it back like 10 times and I was done. So there is a way to get digital volume buttons on the iPhone. And that was brought up on the show with a link for you guys. I remember that. I remember when it was my phone, Ian. My phone lost access. The button stopped working. And I had to start using that dumb touch, the button on the front of your iPhone that you would click on. It would bring up all the volume and power and all that stuff. It was wild. I think, yeah, you were the one who sent us the link for it. Ian went on to say, the internet outage was caused by CloudStrike, updated a security patch, which caused machines to blue screen of death. Only way to fix was safe mode and delete a Win32 file, which is, if you did the wrong thing, would have a super spendy paperweight. Okay. Yeah. That was crazy. Biggest IT issue in the history of humanity. Crazy. It was 106 in Chattaroy on the 21st of June. Ian, he goes on to say, Carl's Jr., Del Taco, In-N-Out, Arby's, KFC. Outside looking in is Taco Bell. They're 1 to 5 in order. Carl's Jr., number 1. Carl's Jr. will always be top 5 for the same reason Arby's will be for their Western sauce. Good luck today, buddy. Wish you the best in your new job. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. Western sauce from Carl's Jr. I don't know that I'm familiar with that. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know that I'm familiar with it. I mean, a horsey sauce from Arby's, we've discussed it in nauseum. The best sauce. The best. Zips up in the Pacific Northwest. Zips fry sauce. Really, really good. And then I'm a sucker for a lot of the McDonald's ones. McDonald's, as I sit here and think of them, McDonald's honey mustard, really good. McDonald's sweet and sour, really good. I think McDonald's kind of has the market cornered on a lot of the sauces, but the horsey sauce from Arby's, that is good stuff. I'm the Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A. Not a big Chick-fil-A guy, but I love that Polynesian sauce. Okay, it's been your favorite 15-minute podcast. Thank you for tuning in. John, you're on watch.